Manchester United are taking on Leicester City. Now, really pleased that the international break is over and Manchester United can get back to trying to get back up closer to the title challengers. Because it seems an age ago that Manchester United had that horrific draw against Everton, and we need to erase that and get back to winning ways. We really do, because we've been in some poor run of performances for Manchester United. Yes, we've got some results, but really poor performances, and we've got to improve on the performance and get the right result. And nothing short of victory away at Leicester is going to be any good for Manchester United because of the points we've dropped, the stupid points we've dropped at home to an average, in my opinion, Everton side, an average Aston Villa side, and an average Southampton side. And dropping points against mid-table teams like that is really not good if you want to be putting a title challenge together. It's just really not. And going to this game, Leicester have got problems. They're not doing as well as they've done in the past. I'm not too sure what's going on there. They're letting a lot of goals in, which could that be good for Manchester United's attacking talent? I do hope so, but Manchester United are letting goals in. We haven't let a shitload in like Leicester in the league. Leicester have let a hell of a lot more in than Manchester United, but Manchester United are not keeping clean sheets. Every single game we're letting goals in, which is a problem for Manchester United. I think we've let 6 goals in something like 7 league games, but they've all come in. We're not letting like 3 or 4 in a game, but every game we're letting 1 in, and that means you've got to be scoring at least 2 to get a win, or maybe even a draw out of it. And it's if they get a couple, it's not good enough for Manchester United. You've got to be keeping them clean sheets to rack up them 1-2-0 victories at times in order to steer you towards the title. And you're not gonna, if you keep falling behind, certainly when we've fallen behind a lot in games over the last 12 to 15 months, you've got a mountain to climb, because in the Premier League you can't keep coming back and scoring 2 or 3 goals when you're falling behind. And even when we're going in front, we're not putting the game to bed, getting that second goal and killing it off, and then there's always that chance of the 1-1 result, and that is a terrible result in the Premier League if you're trying to challenge for the title. Drawing 1-1 is just a recipe for disaster. It drops over the season. If you have a few of them, you drop way too many points. Now, how are Manchester United going to go in this game? We've got problems ourselves in defence. We've got real issues there. It looks like both, as far as I know, Harry Maguire is out at the moment, but he should be back soon. But Rafael Varane's going to be out for a few weeks, which is a massive concern for Manchester United, because whereas I think Lindelof might be able to do a decent job in there for Manchester United over a 2 or 3 games. He's not terrible, we know that. He's certainly a decent squad player for Manchester United. Certainly would be good enough for any mid-table side, I think, at centre back. But Bailly hardly ever plays. He's always injured, which is a problem. Most people thought that Bailly and Lindelof were going to be Manchester United centre-back pairing for a few years, and it just hasn't worked that way for Manchester United. He's had so many injury problems, but at times he has looked good for Manchester United. He has when he's played, but just hasn't been consistent enough to get game time through his injury problems, which is my massive concern. Because if Manchester United are going to play him in these next few fixtures, is he going to get injured again and we're going to have to go to Phil Jones? I'm not too sure. I don't even know how Solskjaer's going to line up for this one, but he's probably going to be concerned about this defence, and I wasn't sure if he was going to go for a back 5 or back 3 in this particular game. But I did see some reports that maybe Brendan Rodgers could go with a back 3 for this game. I think he's got issues whether Johnny Evans is fit for this game and players like that, so I'm not sure how they're going to line up. I'm really not for this game either. See them against Palace, and against Palace they were poor. They were very poor, but their forwards in Kelechi Iheanacho and Jamie Vardy were lethal. Very lethal finishers, and this is the problem for Manchester United. We could dominate this game, we really could, and we could lose a couple of goals to them, because they are 2 lethal finishers. We know what Vardy can do. He's been absolutely lethal over the years, and he's going to be the main problem for that back 4 for Manchester United to deal with. But Kelechi Iheanacho has taken his game to another level this last 12 months, and is a lot better than he has been in previous seasons. One chance and he could put it away as well. So they're the 2 up front that we've really got to keep an eye on for Manchester United if we are to get a result in this game. But I'm going to say that he picks a back 4. I mean, as I say, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't go with the back 5, because I'm not sure if he's going to trust this back 4. I'm really not for this game. And with Fred out as well, he usually likes to go with the Fred and McTominay in midfield, and he's not going to be able to go with Fred because he played for Brazil in the World Cup qualifiers and he's not going to be available. So Manchester United, I would expect, if he plays with the back four, obviously De Gea in goal, it'll be Wan-Bissaka, Shaw and Bay and Lindelof. That would be the back four I think he will go for. Hope if Harry Maguire was fit, I would put him in there because I think he would be a better option than Eric Bay in that centre back position. Then midfield, Scott McTominay and Pogba will have to. I don't know. I mean, he might go with McTominay and Matic in there, but I would probably go with the Pogba and McTominay. I presume. I don't know which option he's going to go for, but I'll go with that. And then Bruno Fernandes. Then he's going to go with probably Sancho on the left, Greenwood on the right, and Cristiano Ronaldo up front. I mean, he could go with Pogba on the left, take away either Greenwood or Sancho, whoever plays on the right. I mean, he could go with Sancho on the right. Sancho has been playing a lot of his football lately on the left-hand side to accommodate Mason Greenwood, but Mason Greenwood hasn't been in goal-scoring form recently. He scored in his first 3 games of the season, and since then his goal-scoring has been very poor for Manchester United, and that is a concern for Manchester United. I don't know if it's the fact that he's not playing in that central position, but when he was playing in that central position last season, he wasn't looking very good in my opinion. So I'm not too sure what's happened there with his goal scoring, but he's got to get back to goal scoring form soon, because if he doesn't, then Marcus Rashford's going to come back in and take that left hand side, and Jadon Sancho could well take the right hand side. It's going to be whoever is in the best run of form at them two. It could chop and change, but over the season I would expect one of them will nail down that spot, and it could cause a problem there, because you've got a £17 million man. If Greenwood was to hit a good run of form again, it could leave Sancho out the team, which could be a bit of a concern for a £70 million player for Manchester United. I don't expect Van der Beek to be playing in that midfield, as I said, where I went with probably Pogba and McTominay. I mean, it could be it could be McTominay and Matic in there as well, but I just don't think he will go with Van der Beek in there. I just think Van der Beek's days at Manchester United are numbered now. He hasn't performed very well when he has played, I'll give him that, but maybe he could have had a few more minutes. But this is top football, and like I said with Greenwood's gone quite a few games now, about 6 or 7 games without a goal for Manchester United, and if you're not performing, you're going to be out of the team. And as Manchester United have got a lot of attacking options, and yes, we haven't got so many midfield options, but when Van der Beek gets minutes, he's got to perform. We've seen when Jesse Lingard's come off the bench a few times, or even maybe start, he has impressed Manchester United this season. You look at the Newcastle game, he scored, then he scored obviously in that game against West Ham as well. So he has affected some games when he's come onto the pitch in the more limited time he's had over the likes of Greenwood, Sancho and that. And you've got to do that. And like before, okay, Martial didn't have a great game against Everton, but he did affect the game by scoring, and that is what you've got to do. So if Martial isn't in the starting lineup, which I don't expect him to be, if he's called upon in this game, he's got to make an impact. He's got to be coming off the bench, scoring or assisting or doing something. The same with Rashford. Rashford's been out a while. Yes, we know it might take him a while to come back. He probably will come off the substitutes bench in this game, Rashford. But this is an elite level sport, and if Rashford comes onto the pitch, he's got to perform, because if Sancho and Greenwood do perform, then Rashford's going to have to be on the bench. It's just that is how it is at this moment in time. The one that's performing the best should be starting, and he got it completely wrong against Everton when he dropped Cristiano Ronaldo, who has been in goal scoring form for Manchester United. That was a huge mistake. He can't get it wrong in this game. He's got to pick the team that he thinks is the best out there to go and get this job done, because if we lose this game or draw this game, Manchester United are going to be looking down at a potential scrap just to get in the Champions League this season, and with the additions we've made, that is just fucking not good enough. Anyway, I don't really know what else more to say on this game, to be honest. I mean, as I say, Vardy and Iheanacho would be the main threat for Manchester United for me, and then back four have got to be on their toes. I think it's going to be a difficult game, although, as I said before, I did watch them play against Palace, and although they went a couple of nil up in that game, Palace were worthy of going in at half time in that game, winning the game. But Manchester United could fall short of something like that again, a smash and grab to go 2-0 up for Leicester. That could quite easily happen to Manchester United. We know how lapsed in concentration we can be at the back, but I'm not too sure as to why Manchester United are not good enough at keeping clean sheets. I'm really not sure. I can't pinpoint it on one centre back, or I know Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw haven't been at their best this season, and maybe Wan-Bissaka, but I can't pinpoint it at one of them players that's making errors all the time. It's not really some one particular thing that I'm seeing. It's just Manchester United just do make all sorts of different errors at times, and it baffles me. It does, when Manchester United haven't, on paper, I don't think have got too bad a squad in order to keep more clean sheets. I really don't. It is baffling for me as to why we're not keeping more clean sheets. I'm going to have to start doing that, because De Gea's been in good form, and if De Gea's form drops, Manchester United are going to be worse, but a lot worse, because he saved our bacon against Villarreal. Otherwise we could have lost Manchester United, and he might have to again in this particular game. I don't think Manchester United are going to go to Leicester and win. I'm going for Manchester United drawing 1-1 with Leicester. I think it's just going to be too hard for Manchester United to get the victory. Anyway, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you're watching this on Facebook, please do hit the share button, and I'll talk to you all again soon.